Hello, everybody. It is Saturday in the South. Once again, it's the Written Undead podcast. I'm Jack Childress. That's Richard Ryan Rose. Over there somewhere is Jennifer Amato, sneaking around the backside, looking to scavenge what he can get, the one and only Angel Ramon. And this week, our special guest, the author of Them, the author of Beast of Sorrows, which I freaking love. The one and only James Watts. What is up, Mr. James? How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. How are y'all doing today?
Outstanding.
Fabulous.
Wonderful.
Doing great, man. So happy to have you on. And I want to jump right into one topic, but I'm going to save it for a little bit later. So I'm going to start off. Give us some background into what makes us have this James Watts. Where do you come from? What have you done?
Oh man, I'm old school, back 80s, 90s horror. Back in that big Stephen King fan. Read The Stand when I was 11, and that's what got me into King. Before that, I was reading The Hardy Boys, which I still love those old books though. I've been writing for years, just never really took the opportunity to try and publish anything. Them was originally called Shadows and Secrets and was published by a really shady publishing company. Their idea of promotion was you buy your own books.
That's okay.
Makes zero sense.
So I read. Eventually, I just went ahead and I rewrote and retitled to Them, added a few things, and I sent it to another publisher, Fearfront Publishing, who I was only out a month, and they shut the doors.
Well, damn.
So I just kept moving down the line. Hellbound Books was next, and I did a few conventions. Actually, with Hellbound Books, I was with them for a hot minute. Going to convention Scarefest in Kentucky. Did really well, there. Then I went to Terror Track. Now I'm with Sinister Smile Press, who I'm fairly pleased with. They republished all three of the books when Terror Track shut down. They have it in all the formats: Kindle, audio, hardback, paperback. So that's what I was really happy about. The hardcovers. I put those up there in my King books.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's
What publisher?
cool.
What publisher?
Sinister Smile Press. Sinister Smile.
Sinister Smile. Sinister Smile.
Sinister Smile. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
good. All right.
Yeah. Now, have you done any indie publishing of your own? Have you put anything out that you just did yourself?
I never have. I've always, ever since day one, it's been with a publisher. And what I like about Sinister Smile is my universe is connected. Every book connected. If you read Them, you'll notice Easter eggs that I planted in Beast of Sorrows. And if you read my collection with all the short stories, you'll notice Easter eggs that bounce back to Them and Beast of Sorrows.
Oh, cool.
Now, that's one hell of a way to make me go buy all your damn books, you ass.
Yeah, I'm doing
Nah, I
a
love
big horror verse.
We are going to need second jobs, Jack.
Yes, we are.
Oh boy, yeah, you're gonna go real quick.
Well, I mean, like you can already see behind here, because I've already got to get with James, because I need that beautiful young little demon hanging on this wall back here behind me.
Yeah,
So she could
I
stare
bet-
at me with her little upside down cross on her chin right here.
One of my favorite creations, my little smart ass demon girl. Stick from hell.
Her and Puppy. Well, okay, I've already got excited about it, so we're going to go right to it. Beast of Sorrows. First off, where did that come from?
Well, I was wanting to write a story with a demon for a long time, and actually, the opening of Beast of Sorrows was a sample paragraph. Story as a sample paragraph back in 2000 and I want to say 12 that I did for the other publisher on their little author chat. So I was pulling stuff out, reading over it. I read over that paragraph. I guess I read over it like 10 times, trying to decide if I wanted to turn it into a novel. And I wasn't actually gonna put the other werewolves in. It was just gonna be her and her werewolf spirit. And then as the book went along, I was like, we need werewolves in this. And I've tried to make a werewolf different than your traditional werewolf. Like if a person's got blonde hair, why should their hair change when they go into lichen form? So it stays the same.
And
I
that
also
was
did
cool.
with-
That was really cool.
I like that consistency.
And I also did it with the height. Like if someone's 5 foot, they're not gonna, morph into something 7 foot. They'll get a little bigger, but it's just gonna be based on their height. Like I have one little short one in there, Scooter or Skeeter, I can't remember his name now.
I think it was Scooter.
Yeah. I was like, that makes more sense to me than, everybody changing into a werewolf with the same color hair and all going to the same height. You get a little variation of it.
Now,
So
and
I got that idea.
one of the things I really loved about it was, like you said, having the werewolf spirit that she carried, and help me with the name because it's eluded me right now because I've been reading so much crap lately that I can't keep up with everything. What was the little demon girl's name?
Oh, that's Bex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, she has a cute term for the freaking hulking monster that she has walking around with her, calling him puppy. When did you come up with that? How did, because I mean, to me, that's one of the most endearing things about that tandem is how don't make puppy mad, and just the whole thing. And that makes it even creepier, honestly.
Well, actually, that's a throwback to Marvel Comics, the old days, the old Wolverine, original Wolverine series, where there's an android named LTD, little blonde-haired android that wears a sundress and has pigtail or ponytails. She had a giant werewolf-like creature. It wasn't a werewolf, but it was similar. And she nicknamed it Puppy, but she didn't call it that all the time.
That's funny. It reminds me of Monsters Inc. when she used to call Sully Kitty. The little girl would call Sully Kitty, and it makes him cute and cuddly. But then, God forbid, he gets nasty and ferocious because it gets really scary. And
Okay, so now is Puppy a werewolf?
Yes. A spirit werewolf.
Spirit werewolf.
It's because it's rolling around with a little demon girl, and pretty much whatever she wants it to do, it does, and with dramatic effect.
I'm gonna have to get this one now.
Very
I'm gonna have to
dramatic
check the
effect.
book out. It sounds really cool.
Well, see, at the same time you have all that going on, you have the main werewolves that are in this tiny little town in the middle of steamy hot Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason you picked the particular location that you did?
It's close to where I actually grew up. Actually, it's like them. Technically, the town of Maple Grove is only about 10 minutes from where I grew up, and it's only about 15 or 20.
Okay.
But I wanted to do a fictional town because I have the ability to make the town exactly how I want it, versus picking a real town where I'm kind of limited.
Okay, because I never Googled it. I mean, I'm lazy that way. I could do the technology and go look things up. I never actually went and looked it up, but I did always wonder, was that a real place or not? I even asked one of my friends at work who's from Alabama, and he's like, I ain't never heard of it. I'm like, okay, so must not be real. Well, now we know. It's created from the imagination. But man, that whole dynamic of the way the book starts, and you're going through this whole thing of what the hell is going on here? Who can I trust? Who can I not trust? Totally freaking badass. Absolutely badass. And to me, it would make a good movie. It would make a good movie. No two ways about it. As long as they didn't do it on the Sci-Fi Channel, because I don't want to see what your werewolves look like on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Sci-fi kind of stinks when it comes to horror.
They would be horribly computer generated, and I just don't
CGI.
Yeah, I told my wife
once. Power Rangers.
This is before I was ever a writer or anything. I told my wife, like, I could go write for the Sci-Fi Channel. You see the shit that they put
I know. Good
The
Lord.
stories are
Yeah,
fucking
it's
horrible.
really phoning off.
I don't even know if you could even count them as B rated. I would say more like C, D, maybe even
Oh,
F.
Yeah,
Full Moon Video. Worse than Full Moon.
I mean, it's just plain
It's
bad.
bad.
It's not bad. It's not so bad that it's good. It's just plain bad.
Mhm,
It's pretty horrible.
But hey,
mhm.
but that being said, I do love me some Sharknado and Lavalantula. I said it, fight me.
Yeah.
I loved them.
Like,
I loved them. Everything else though, crap.
I've not seen those.
Me neither. You're not the only one. I like my IQ points where they're at.
Man, IQ points are so fucking overrated. Man, look at me. I'm successful.
You did get lunch bought for you because you were part of some guy's favorite podcast. So yes.
Yes, I did. So there you go. Hi, Clark.
I'm like what Jeff Thompson will. He said the Sci-Fi Channel, a TV channel devoted to ignoring science.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
And
they
by the
focus
way,
on-
what's
they
up,
focus
Jeff?
on the
Thanks for
fiction.
watching.
Yes.
Yes,
Hi,
sir.
Jeff.
Jeffy.
So James, how long have you been actually published in writing books?
It's 2017.
Okay. How's the
There's a
road
long
going
gap.
so far?
Pretty good.
Good.
There's a big gap between the first book and the second book, but things are rolling along now. I have a novella I'm working on, which is going to have another of my demon girls. There's three.
Yep.
There'll be two more books that feature the other two sisters. And you mentioned the Sallow Man is a novella that I'm working on.
Okay.
Okay, so this Beast of Sorrows, is it part of a series or is it a standalone?
They're all standalone, but they're all connected. Eventually, I plan on doing maybe a sequel novel to both the first two books.
Mhm.
But I don't want to do one, immediately after, because if I did one immediately after, there's a chance that I may, mess it up and it's not going to go like it should.
That makes
won't make
sense.
much sense.
Well, now I think something I would kind of get a kick out of is, our heroes that survived at the end of A Beast of Sorrows, to follow them on their adventures as they go around battling different, whatevers, which is, it's one of the kind of, I guess you could say, genres that I love. I love that, team-based, like the TV series Supernatural, or I can't think of nothing off the top of my head right now. I've been so book oriented, but something like that where you've got this group that they're always going to be this core and they're out there doing different adventures. So each book stands alone, yet it is still kind of part of a series. Have you thought about doing that with those characters?
I've actually got something planned for Cole and Jerry later on down the line.
Nice.
Jerry was already a monster hunter, and Cole had dabbled into the supernatural. They got along really well in the book, so I plan on giving them their own. And for sure, maybe some more characters pop up that or in other works that they may cross paths with.
Cool. I'm looking, like I said, trust me, guys, once y'all check out Beast of Sorrows, y'all will understand why I'm so freaking wired right now. Like, wanting more of that because it was that damned good. But while we're on the werewolf thing, Richard, you didn't go with the standard run-of-the-mill werewolf. Hell, they're not even called werewolves.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about what you went with.
Well, I mean, I went with the Rougarou, which is like the Cajun version of the werewolf lore. There's sightings and legends about a werewolf roaming around the Louisiana bayous, and they call it the Rougarou. And they've even supposedly had sightings like in South Carolina, the Rougarou. It's one of those dogman kind of creatures that been cited more and more across the U.S. and other countries even. But I didn't want to go with just werewolves, just like I don't refer to vampires in the Rougarou War as vampires. They're the spawn, and
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, so I started researching what are some of werewolf legends out there, what sounds really cool. And Rougarou. I mean, come on, Rougarou. How cool is that? That's a pretty cool, scary name, you know.
And back there hanging right up here on the wall, there's one leaping at a couple Sasquatches.
and Rougarous are very, very southern. So wild-eyed southern boys, you know,
Makes
kind
sense.
of fits the mold, yeah.
So now, what was it that made you like? Well, I mean, you just said that exact. So, have you ever thought about any alternative style werewolves? I mean, because surely there's other legends around the globe, and that question is for both you and James.
Well, werewolves have just always been my favorite creature. You know, vampires were overdone for a long time. And after I read and then watched Silver Bullet, I was like, yeah. And then of course American Werewolf in London, classic. Another one of my favorites is Dog Soldiers. That was a really good one. It's just they're just a primal beast. You know, so you know they don't really have, you know, well, in my book I have the ones, you know, my pure blood, because they're the ones that can actually think and still maintain, you know, their mind. While I have the half bloods, which usually go crazy. And that you have both sides. You have the man or woman side, and then you have the beast. And the beast is what is always so intriguing, because they're just like a force of nature, you know, a powerhouse.
I tell you, one that inspired me to go with werewolves, a movie that I saw when I was a kid, scared the ever living hell out of me. The Howling. No, not the 8 or 9 sequels after that all sucked, but the original Howling. And that was the first time where you saw werewolves in a different light, because they were like these huge upright canine creatures that were just terrifying, you know, with hands and claws and still the elongated snout and just scary as hell, you know. But prior to the Howling, you had like basically, you had American Werewolf in London, which was all fours canine creature, which was scary in and of its own. But you know, the upright werewolves were like, you know, just guys with furry faces and like the old school
Wolfman.
Not bad mouthing it. Yeah, not bad mouthing it, but you know, they just weren't as scary as like you get the Howling, and like you got these gigantic, you know,
monstrosities
creatures it's kind of funny how all these people said I saw a werewolf and it looked just like this thing, and when they describe it and they have it, you know, character, you know, the drawings of it and reenactments on TV, they look just like those fuckers on the Howling. And I mean, and ever since then I've been terrified of werewolves, and I wanted to go with you know, werewolves in my story at some point. And then, you know, of course, you know, I don't want to throw out too many spoilers, but you know, I kind of did a little bit of a Wendigo twist to one of my werewolf characters that made him stand out, you know, from all the rest. But
yeah, that's an understatement.
Wow, that sounds cool as heck.
He said, trust me, Angel, when you get to that point, you're going to lose your freaking mind.
Oh yeah, wow. Okay, well, hey, I got both books, so I better get reading.
Yeah.
Well, now, James, you also have another book, them. Give us a little bit more, because you kind of talked about that some, and I sidetracked us there a little bit. That happens. I should have blown the whistle on myself.
Yep.
Blow the whistle on myself. I took us off course. So break it down a little bit more for us, man.
Them, basically what them is it's actually the first book where I break down how my universe works in the 3 planes of reality. You know, you have an upper wasteland type world, and you have Earth, you know, where we're at now, and then you have the spirit world, which is just basically a large landmass with heaven or hell on either end that floats in the middle of purgatory.
Wow, already.
Some of those creatures, the Adomulites, they're parasitic. I was doing some research on deer ticks one day, and I was like, what I could do with this, so they're just, they resemble deer ticks, and they have like tentacles, they can control corpses. Corpses, or they can control live animals. They get in there, use it till they mature enough to lay their eggs, and then they go into hibernation, so they can evolve. In this particular story, Maple Grove, Alabama, when it was founded, when I got the 5 founding families, I've only done story on like 3 of them so far, which is them. And when they was digging a well for their property, the Odomilites, they got trapped here. Sometimes they get trapped and they don't go straight to hell. And they made a pact with the family. If the family kept them safe, they were do things for them in return. Like some of them, like Judd. If you like Miss Tidwell, you'll like Judd Atkins. He's an evil son of a bitch. But they like he gets special little gifts from them. They can communicate through him. And each family has to protect the nest. If they protect that nest, in return they get a little bit of that gift. You only see a little bit of it in Judd. I didn't go into detail with the other family, the Sanders family, but the son, he returns home. His dad died, and when he was still in high school, he moved away to Florida, and when he comes back, he had to come back to bury his mother because the Odomilites have got stirred up again. They can control, like I said, they can control anything. Cats, dogs, coyotes. Like
Damn.
puppet masters. But they can't do live human hosts because of willpower. People can will their thoughts away. They can't control them too well. But a corpse, they can control a corpse for a little while. They can actually repair the corpse to keep it going as long as they need it to go to get what they need out of it, and they'll just shuck it away like a husk. Move on to, and either go into hibernation to evolve after they laid their eggs, or move on to another corpse.
That's kind of like that's another version of a zombie.
It pretty much. I like it.
A freaking demonically possessed dead person. That's a zombie.
Yes,
in a
it
way.
is. It is.
Holy crap.
Wow, James. I mean, James, I gotta ask you, man. I gotta ask you, what inspired you to write these books? What was the inspiration behind it?
Yeah.
Like I said, the research for them just started out with I was just doing research on deer ticks, and then all of a sudden, my imagination kicked in. Like, what could I do with this? And then I started thinking, and actually, a little bit of it mirrors my own life, because my dad passed away in '97 of cancer. Mom's still here though, thank God. But a lot of that kind of mirrors myself, the main character Ray, and then his cousin Roy. A lot of people get that kind of irritated. Like, why is their name so similar? I was like, because this is the South.
Everybody's got the same name.
Uh-huh.
And then I started writing it, and as I wrote it, just more and more stuff just popped up. I was like, well, what if I could have a reanimated corpse, but I don't want to do the normal everyday version. I don't want to do like a plague or some kind of experiment. I was like, why don't I just pick a creature that acted like a puppet master? That's where I went, and I just took it from there.
So something like necromancy, right?
Similar, yes. Because instead of like an actual necromancer, you have these creatures that, and they can get to them through their dreams. They have a little bit of telepathy, and they can make you some weird shit.
Yeah, I like the way that you have that supernatural twist to like the undead, because me personally, I can't see, like, if we were to ever have any kind of zombie apocalypse or zombie outbreak, I can't see how it could be scientifically possible, other than maybe some kind of virus out there that like a mutated strain of rabies that has living people acting like zombies. But
yeah.
If we were actually have like a really undead outbreak or apocalypse, it'd have to be something supernatural, of supernatural origin. That's why I wrote my zombies in that light. because they're all, it's all supernatural. And
So I guess my question would be, what kind of research did you have to do? Like, did you look out, or did you look up, just some myths? Did you look into specific types of demons? Like, I'd written a short story about a goetic demon that I actually knew was a really bad dude. So what kind of research did you have to do? And are you getting recruitment letters from the Church of Satan yet?
We
actually,
always
a
check
lot-
this, by the way. This is a prerequisite. We didn't get to catch you in the first part, so just making sure now.
a lot of the creatures that I create, usually based from memories of old movies, even the cheesy ones, and old
Nice.
television shows when I was growing up, stuff I watched, stuff I read. Some of the books I read, I don't even remember the titles of, but a little bit of inspiration in there on some of the creatures I make and how I create them. They're not, like copies, but there are little aspects of each thing that I
Right.
remember, or, that I add to each creature to make it my own.
Okay.
And
So Church of
like-
Satan hasn't contacted you then, or?
well, they may after I get to my. I'm doing a Sallow Men novella now, and then I have another novel called Misguided Faith, which is a serial killer priest with some supernatural aspects. They may contact me on that one because he's pretty damn crazy.
Check your spam mail.
Yeah, he actually prefers his victims to be victimized during fornication.
Hey, sounds
Ah.
like my man Jason.
Actually, I have a short story in my collection called "Look Be a Lady," and that's his first appearance. So
Wow.
Misguided Faith will be like a carry-on from that short story.
Okay.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Our guy is demented.
Now
I'm- I love it.
I'm almost afraid to ask, but when you're not writing, James, what hobbies do you have?
I'm a gamer.
You're a
Ah!
gamer.
So
Oh, nice.
I love games, especially like Fallout. Fallout's probably one of my favorite series. One of my favorite series. Never replaced Zelda. Zelda was like a childhood favorite. and
Zelda,
still
yes.
remains.
I love Zelda.
Yep,
But
yep,
my
yep,
favorite
yep.
was Ocarina of Time on the N64 is
Yep.
my absolute favorite.
Yeah, I love that one too. When the GameCube came out, they had a 50th anniversary, or not a 50th,
James,
anniversary.
quick question, man. Did you ever play the one after Ocarina of Time, the Majora's Mask? Because that one was
Oh.
hell to beat.
Yeah, that one was a pain in the ass. I beat it, but it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, everybody says that.
One of my favorites is a lot of people don't like. There's a few people I knew didn't like it was the Wind Waker because it looked all cartoony. I'm like, you know what? It's Zelda. I don't give a shit. This is a fun little game. Especially some of the expressions he would make because he never talked. Like, oh, like, oh yeah, you're fucked. All right, buddy. And I like Fallout because Fallout, I just get to go through there and shoot all kinds of things. Raiders, slavers, big giant stupid super mutants. They're great.
I've been playing that Horizon Forbidden Wilds or Forbidden West.
I've got the first Horizon?
Yeah,
I
Zero
have
Dawn.
that. Yeah, I have that. I haven't finished it yet. That one's pretty fun too.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend the sequel. It is awesome. It is amazing. Whenever my wife's not on the TV and I can sneak in and start playing, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the first Horizon a lot. I just got to finish it up. There's a lot of space I still haven't covered in that game, but it's pretty amazing. I kind of like how you stumble across
Mhm.
the remnants of the old cities. You can't really tell a whole lot about them unless you get those little discs or whatever that shows you what the city used to look like. And it just makes me, I want to finish it and just see what all the backstory is.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It's an amazing game. I mean, you can play it for, years and still not get to every little nook and cranny. But yeah, the sequel is the same way. I think so far, I mean, I'm probably not even a quarter way through the game, and I think the Forbidden West is even better than the first one, which was phenomenal. So, just my recommendation out there. But you start talking about Zelda and Pokemon and shit, now I'm gone. I have no clue what you're talking about.
The one that threw me off was God of War 4.
That was a
I'm
good one.
still trying. It's a good game, but I don't think I ever really understood how he ended up where he ended up after the third God of War. The third God of War, it was pretty a final thing for Kratos, and then all of a sudden there's another one. But I do like his kid.
Yeah, I know Jack was telling me now about God of War.
I love God of
Yeah.
War.
Mhm.
That's my freaking game. And
Yeah,
the
man.
way
I
he
need to get back on it, man. I've been snacking on it. I mean, I just don't have too much time to play, but man, I gotta get back
Well,
on it.
we need to have your ass right. Well, right now you need to be out there freaking editing and whatnot. But yeah,
I know, I
you're
know
busy,
you ain't.
man.
I know you ain't for the web pen, Jack. I know you want to get that web pen so badly on my
He
manuscript,
does.
tear it apart and make me
I
feel
wish
like,
to
and make me feel
defile your
low.
beast.
You know why? Because you have to refer to me as your niece, and you want for one time, Jack. You want to make me feel lower than you, but I I love you, right? So you know. Uh-oh. Did
Everybody
I
bring up the whistle.
did I do that?
Mightier than the sword, Angel.
Uh-oh. Did I? Hey, Jack, did I do that?
Yeah. All right, now James, we know you got plenty of upcoming projects. What's the thing you're most excited about going forward?
Well, actually, with the Salomon and Misguided Faith, I look forward to finishing those. But there's a short story in my collection that's going to become. It's actually the character in this one, Roman the priest. He's a fallen angel. The story is like 175 years after the ride of the apocalypse, the Four Horsemen's ride. And the short story only covers a very small aspect of that. But the world he lives in, him himself, my whole universe is all connected to him and what's going to be happening in the future. I do want to get that novel out because I love post-apocalyptic things. And the world I'm creating with him is pretty dark and fucked up. I have all kinds of creatures and stuff I'm adding to it. I added a really bad version of diarrhea called the trots that by the time that you're about to die from it, your internal organs liquefy.
Ugh.
That was a gift from death.
Like you and Chad Bonds would get along.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
And
So-
actually, Roman's mentioned in Beast of Sorrows.
Oh, really? I didn't make the connection. Okay.
When
Now,
Martha's in the hospital and thinking back to the young boy that was killed by the Raw Park Butcher.
shit. Damn it. Well,
That's Roman.
now I want to introduce you to Jennifer Amato over here, looking all sexy and all that. She is a fledgling writer currently working on becoming an author, which there is a distinction as we've been taught. So, what words of wisdom could you give to her that aren't the traditional just write the book?
Right every day. First
Yeah.
draft is always
Yada,
gonna
yada,
be rough.
yada, yada, all that.
Just write the damn thing.
Write the damn thing. Sit down, put one word in front of the other. I know.
What have you ran into that you could warn her about to help her out in her journey?
Well, one, never try to edit as you go. Just throw that shit all together in one big take and then go back and do surgery on it. Because you can always take out what you need to do or add what you want after it's done. But if you constantly try to edit every little thing as you write, it'll never get finished or it'll take a long time to finish it. Never fall for those people that is those publishers out there that want to publish you for a fee. never fall for that one. So you should never pay to be published or reviewed. There's some of that bullshit out there too. We'll review your book for $40.
Yeah,
I'm sure you
Yeah.
here's your will. Just
I
like
got
it's
plenty
always
of
the
people
greatest
that'll do
thing.
it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, $4, I'll probably think I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Mhm.
Y'all getting money off of it. You never do that.
They're all from like
Yeah.
Nigeria or Zimbabwe or some bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, well, I'll give you a positive review and you'll be a bestseller within no time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you sent a screenshot one day with you trolling
Yeah.
one of those people.
Yes,
Yeah.
your
Tell us about
response
that
was
one, dude. Tell us about that
amazing.
one. Come on, man.
I had one reaching out to me. He's like, hey, can you, it's like, somebody from like over somewhere, in
over
Africa.
there.
Yeah. and they were asking, like, hey, do you need someone to help, promote your book and get you positive reviews and get you, increase your rankings. And so I responded, so, well, you know what? I just recently found out that I inherited $50 million from some king in Nigeria. So, money's no longer an issue for me. So I'm just going to stick to doing my weekly link drops for extra cash.
Bam.
That was a slam dunk right in your face.
Yeah. Yep. My Nigerian uncle, as I'm whiter than white, has
Yeah.
passed away and left me millions.
I didn't even know I had relatives in Nigeria, but
Yeah, right.
yeah.
My ancestry didn't say any part of me was from there.
It was a
Who knew?
scam.
Who knew? Someone out of the woodwork.
It happens. I just got what a stroke of luck here.
Right. So, James, if I was to pick your brain, what was the hardest part about you getting started?
Finding a publisher. Even though Fearfront was not the greatest option since they closed in like a month, and the owner was, he was asking, but I went through 52 rejections before they actually picked me up, and I was excited and stupid at the same time because hey, somebody said they're gonna publish my book. They say they're gonna publish your book, you're just like, but you learn the hard way as you go. Hellbound wasn't too bad. They picked me up next, and Terror Track wasn't bad. It just wasn't super great either. But they did the best they could. There's one person trying to do everything. Sinister Smile, so far they've been like the best that I've come across personally. But the hardest part is just finding someone that wants to actually give your book the time of day. Some of them, they'll send you back these nice little letters. And it's like, dude, you didn't even read shit, did you? The rejections get tough, but you just keep pushing.
Yeah, I've already got someone who I'm planning on using. Actually, it's D. Cooper's publishing company, Ingrid Eagle. So that's who I'm planning on using, and provided she accepts my book. If she doesn't, I'm just gonna try and do some self-publishing, but I think I'm gonna be okay. So
Well, based on the little bit I read from you, Jenna, I think it will pass these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're all right. I'm thinking you're all right.
yeah.
I haven't read anything yet. What did you guys get this?
Well, okay, wait. Oh shit.
They haven't read-
You met
how
Richard
did
out
you
with the
leave
new
teammate
PR.
out?
What's the
What
douche
the
here?
hell?
They haven't read anything new. I had like maybe 3 or 4 chapters done or something like that. So now it's getting good. So I'll send it to you.
Okay, I was gonna say that's 3 or 4 chapters I haven't read, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Right? No, yeah,
But-
okay. Yeah.
And look at Rich. He feels so left out.
Yeah, I mean,
You gonna cry, Rich?
I bet you call him Bigfoot, don't you, Jen? You bastard.
Evil.
Okay.
I'll email you the book. And then you'll have more than them too.
Okay, then
Oh, there you
okay,
go.
I'll feel
Hey.
special again.
He feels special. Oh yeah, he feels so special. Woo-wee.
I'm actually Oh, that's a good question, James. How do you go through figuring out chapters? Because like I'm still in the process of like the first day, but I've like figured out like at different spots I've changed over and made it a new chapter because it was like kind of like a whole different idea or something of that nature. So like what advice do you have for someone like me who's having a hard time figuring out where chapters begin and end?
Damn, good question.
I do. It's in some circles is unpopular. Is I don't outline. I never
Yeah, I
outline
don't
my
either.
story because real life's not outlined. You want the story.
Right.
You want the story to be as random as shit like real life. And as I write, and especially if I hit a good streak, it just pops into my head and I'll go with
Yeah.
it. If it doesn't work, I know I can go back and
And
change
change
it.
it. Yeah.
But I feel like outlines always restrict the story. It's
Yeah,
not a
kind
positive
of.
thing.
Right. It kind of makes it regimented and very, I understand some people need to do that right now the way that I'm gonna try it one day because I want to see the difference. But right
yeah.
now I can sit down and just let the story flow and let it play out in my own head. And these people have their own personalities. My characters have their own personalities, and then just kind of seeing how it would work in my head and then trying to get it out on paper. That is, I don't type fast enough.
Yeah, I don't either. But see, I tell most people though, if that's the way that you know how to write, that's the only way you can write, and then by all means, outline. I think it's just not for me.
Yeah.
I read a book years ago by Stephen King on writing, and he had mentioned that in that book about not outlining it. And since then, I said, well, look, this guy's like a master. Let me try it.
Yeah.
And I did, and he was right. It works rather well because you can get that more natural feel to the story, more natural feel to your characters because you never know what they're going to do. You don't know who's going to die or who's going to. I'm
Right.
just surprised when a character dies is the people reading the book.
Exactly.
Well,
I tell
shit, I
you,
didn't want her to die.
Damn. It
Kinda
was the only
runs
way it could
into it.
play out. Yeah.
I tell you one thing, Jen, that I do that a friend of mine introduced me to that I was like, I don't want to mess with this shit. It just sounds like a hell of a lot of extra work. But it turned out to be a hugely beneficial. And it's called storyboarding your chapters. And a lot of people, will do it before they write their book. I don't. I do it after I write my first draft. And what I do is, and I can, we can talk offline about it.
Yeah.
Line up a bunch of time, but I use a program called Lucid Chart, and you can, I have like different shapes and for different characters and stuff, and I put it like in columns. And storyboard each chapter, and I'll insert comments from my beta readers where they made suggestions on, hey, you need to do this instead, or to consider this, or whatever.
Right.
And I'll put all that down because when I go back to do my second, third, fourth, and fifth, rewrite, I'll go back and like, okay, this chapter would make more sense if I moved it over here.
Right.
And then, I can also, I have all those comments laid out. I go, as I'm rewriting my chapters, I'm like, oh yeah, that was a good point. I'm going to fix this,
Okay.
It'll make those rewrites so much more painless for you.
Yeah, because I know Angel, when he does his writing, his is all, perfect on there. And then he's got like this over here column that has all of his chapters. So he can just go right to the chapter, which is really cool, by the way, and why I asked you what you were using. But so like mine is just all in a Word document. And if somebody was to tell me, oh, this sentence right here doesn't make sense, I'm going to have to go through the whole thing. So should I be saving it chapter by chapter, I guess, or?
I do. I would. I would say,
Separate chapters.
yeah.
I was
separate
wondering about that myself because I was planning on maybe going back to that weird story I had written that had Richard and Angel as like main characters and yada
Yeah.
yada
Oh, yeah,
yada. You know,
would-
but if I was going to do it, I was going to have to quit doing it in a notebook because my hand don't like that, and
Mhm.
start actually typing the thing out. So yeah, I was kind of wondering, what technology do you guys use to write your damn books?
Yeah.
I use Word. I use Word document, but I do it in individual chapters. And then when I I rewrite the chapters, when I'm done with my rewrites, I then go back and combine all those chapters into one document. But I don't do it all in one document from the get-go. I split it up in chapters. It's easier to keep up with.
Okay.
I use Word, but I do it as one whole novel so I can watch my word count.
Mhm.
And I also don't just save it on my computer. I have it saved on
Oh, the Yankees took
a
a tune up
computer,
in me.
a
They got
flash drive.
a home run at the
Dropbox.
bottom of the six.
Do you have a backup on top of your backup on top of your backup?
I save mine on
Yeah,
OneDrive too, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
And and
No,
if you,
no, they
if
go-
you use
they go into the
Dropbox,
bottom of the
you can
seventh.
save your documents.
Yeah, I have a what is it? One
OneDrive.
yeah, OneDrive. Thank you.
Yeah,
I do
that
have
I
it.
use
I have it
too.
on both.
Yeah.
Because I know you can get that from anywhere. And if I'm out and I have a good idea and I just want to do it on my phone real quick, I can do that. So I do have OneDrive. But Angel,
Yep.
what do you save your each chapter at a time? How do you do your whole document?
I do my whole document. I just do one whole document. For me, it's better. For me, that's better. For me, it's just better than doing it chapter by chapter.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
also have OneDrive as well, so I also save it to the cloud. That's my backup in case my computer ever freezes up or anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you do
I-
you. Works
well,
better.
hey,
I
well-
spent my beta readers, per chapter. That's why.
Well, I'm going to steal Angel's thing. Jeff Thompson. Oh crap! I had a second one pop in. Jeff Thompson says, I use WordPerfect and I just write the document, then edit, then polish, then edit, then polish until it seems right. And he wasn't done. And then I send it to Doc Freed. Oh my God. 5 chapters at a time. And of course, she will eventually brutalize them. I added that myself at the end. And then Carl Meadows pops in.
Oh, hey,
You can
Carl.
do chapter headings in Word. I write in a single document, but have the chapters listed down the left have the chapters listed down the left in the manner you're talking about. It's pretty straightforward to come to do. Check
Okay.
out the help function in Word.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ta-da!
We
are not doing this by ourselves.
Yeah.
Word has a template for novels and short stories.
Excellent.
I just the novel one confuses me so far. I'm not really computer savvy, and it'll give you the first 3 chapters listed, and then after that, it's like everything else is just all chapter 3. Like, oh no, but I'll eventually figure that one out. There are a ton of programs out there. It's just most of these people have these programs that they want to charge you out the ass for.
Yeah.
Do the same thing that some of the free ones do.
And being an indie author, doing it on your own, not getting big publishing company money or whatever, it's so hard because you're trying to sit here. You're also marketing for yourself, and you have to make sure that you're keeping up with your marketing so you can sell books. And how hard is that for you, James? Does your company do that? I know with other writers, it's the biggest pain in the tuchus.
Well, my experience with indie publishers, that they don't really do a whole lot of promotions because it's not like the big houses where they have just cash to throw at
Right.
at promotion. A lot of stuff I do, I try to do the Facebook groups. I join like 50 Facebook groups, but that you'll have someone like it, don't mean they're gonna buy it. I try to do, appearances with them. I did 6 Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble was actually my favorite to do because they buy the books,
Mhm.
and all you have to do to get all I had to do was I made phone calls, and my book had to be returnable, which it is, Ingram and Spark, and I had to be listed on their website, and they just set me up with a book signing in the store, and they're great. Once you go to the store, you actually feel famous. Can I get you something to drink? Would you care for? Yeah, I think I would.
Aw.
Except for in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, that water is nasty. But Barnes Noble.
But the
Spearfest is-
championships are great.
I love the. I have more fun looking at the little collectible stuff at Barnes and Noble. Oh wow, that's a Ninja Turtle set. I like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're the only Barnes and Noble trip that was terrible was at Mississippi State because they scheduled a signing for on a game day, an away game. Nobody was on campus.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, they're watching the game. Granted,
Well, I
they're
didn't
watching
say-
they're watching Mississippi State lose a game, probably, but you know.
But still, they're
Yeah.
diehard.
Right.
Hey,
uh-huh.
whatever, man. Roll Tide. That's all I'm saying.
Go Vols.
Now, Scarefest, I like going to Scarefest and Lexington, Kentucky. That's
Same to
always
you,
been
Jack.
nice. I usually do well there. It's not just for books, it's a big horror visit. So you see all kinds of shit from every horror movie ever made. You see the cosplay, which is pretty cool. The last one, well, no, not the last one, the year before last, uh, got to shake Bruce Campbell's hand and give a signed book. So that was pretty cool.
Cool.
Nice.
Hell yeah, Evil
Yeah.
Dead for the win.
And he's so damn tall compared to me because I'm like the height of a Ninja Turtle. Like, yes, sir. No intimidation whatsoever. But I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, well, he may never read it, but he's got one, and I got to shake his hand and talk to him. So
Sweet.
I
Sweet.
took that as a win.
Hell.
That is definitely.
So now
Well,
what is your has been your favorite thing that you finally discovered along the way as you've made this journey as an author? Because you started off as a writer, because you ain't an author until you actually get published. What has been your favorite thing as an author that you've experienced along the way?
Well, actually, it would go back to the signings, getting to meet the people that actually read the books. I could go to Amazon, Barnes Noble, and say, "Oh, look, I made a sale." Or I could see, even if I see a review, I could say, "Oh, look, I got a review." But until you actually meet these people in person and talk to them and find out what they like and what they dislike, that's just the most insane experience for me because it's great just talking to these people. Because you get to meet your fans or will be fans if they buy the book and like it. At Scarefest, I've actually had people come back that had bought copies of them and bought copies of these of SARS because I remember you from last time. And then they would buy a copy, and then I had one lady come back and she bought 3 copies because she wanted a copy for her husband, and her kid.
Oh, nice.
But yeah,
Mhm.
And that's actually a really nice feeling.
Yeah.
Especially when they recognize you. And then last weekend, and this was pretty cool to me because I haven't reached out to any libraries at all. I was cutting grass. It got hot as hell, so I was taking a break, smoking a cigarette on the porch, and I heard my phone notification go off. And I picked up my phone, and there's a lady from Coleman, Alabama, from the public library, asking me if I do appearances. I was like, "Oh shit, she just made me feel famous."
Nice.
And I'm currently working on that because she's talking about seeing if they can budget it in to where they can sponsor the trip. And I was like, well, that'd be great if I get my book in
That'd
the
be even
library.
better. Heck yeah.
It shocked me because I've never reached out to any of these people, libraries, because I didn't know how you would go about it. The only place I ever really reached out to was Barnes and Noble. I tried Books a Million, but you have to go through a novel itself just to get a schedule set up to appear in a store. And books me is a pain in the friggin' ass. Barnes and
I
Noble's
used to
cool.
work there. I know.
It's like, you gotta fill this in. Do I need to put some hieroglyphics in there?
Oh,
Got to give
want my
them a
minute.
novel about yourself, and then
It's like, shit. Barnes and Noble made these. He says, all right. Okay, check. You got that? Check. All right. And can you come in on a certain date at,
right.
and then Barnes and Noble, like you might be scheduled 2 to 4. Usually they schedule like 2-hour visits. 4 o'clock gets there, and they're like, "Hey man, you want to? You can stay till we close." Like, yeah, okay. But considering most of the ones I went to were out of state, I never stayed to close. But they were also cool because your whatever copies of your book are left, they had you sign them and then put them on their local author shelf as a signed copy.
Nice.
That's about that time.
oh,
Yes,
we
it
have
is.
reached the end of this freaking show. Are you freaking kidding me, Richard?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, damn it. All right. Well, first off, I'm gonna do some self-promotion. Well, not self-promotion, promotion for sure. One of our fellow authors off in the group, Wicked Awake, available always. Scary
Great book.
out there. Now, I like to end every show the same way every single time. So we're gonna do it, well, the same way this time. Richard Ryan Rose, where the hell can we find you, brother?
Find me on my Facebook page, Richard R. Rose Author, and Amazon, Audible, iTunes, Kindle. I'm everywhere. Wild Eyed Southern Boys, and come out to Texas AuthorCon on July 10th in Dallas, Texas, at the Hilton Garden Inn. Check our Facebook site for the exact address and everything. Free admission. You meet myself and like 12 or 13 other authors going to be there.
Merrill David's gonna be there, so
Merrill David will be
Mhm.
there.
be expected to get felt up, and he'll just call it patting down.
Yeah. That's what we cops do, So.
Yeah, that's what the
Mhm.
excuse is. It's
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
You look
Yep.
shady, just saying.
Officer safety. Officer
Yeah.
safety always.
Yes.
Yeah,
Our
we know what.
safety and your safety.
I'm actually trying to figure out how the hell I can get there just to get patted down. Just saying. Angel
Sure Merrill will hook
Ramon,
you up.
Yes, sir. You
where can we find you, my brother?
You can find me on my Facebook group, The Legionnaires of Angelus Maximus. You could also find me on Amazon, of course, and Angel Ramon if you want to read my zombie novels, or Angelus Maximus if you want to read my historical fiction stuff. And I also started a Patreon where you can pledge from $2 to $20, and you can get a whole range of different things, including a free. You can read my new book in advance. You could get hard copies, signed paperback copies, free ebooks, and all the good stuff out there.
Well,
Other than that, Jack, I know you joined my top $20 level, so you're going to be getting a signed hardcover copy of my future books. So there you go.
Looking forward to that. Well, Jennifer Amato, we know you're still writing, but how is the writing going right now? Since we
It's
can't go
going.
find you.
It's not yet. I figure once I'm up to about 15,000 words, so I'm pretty proud of myself for actually
Hey,
being
you're
able
rolling.
to. I
That's
am.
way
I
higher than it
am.
was like maybe 2-3 weeks ago. You were like at what?
I was still at 6,700. So I mean, I've done pretty good. I'm pretty proud of myself. I figure, once I get like 3/4 of the way through, I can start my own author page, and then we'll be able to find me somewhere. But look for me here. This is where I'm at. Until then.
Jennifer and the boys, as it
Yeah.
always is. Now, Mr. James Watts, I want to first off, before I even give you a chance to everybody to where to find you, that they need to go find you, because I am absolutely hooked right off the one book. And if it wasn't for the fact that I had to constantly keep checking out a new author every week, which I'm very thankful to get to do because, God, they're all so badass, I would have already been caught up on your stuff. But I will be getting more of your stuff, guaranteed, as long as I get to live.
Today.
So, where can we find you, and what would you like I changed my mind in the middle of that question. That should not happen. Where can we find you, and what are your goals?
I got I have my Facebook author page, Southern Horror Writer. I also have a blog spot, author page. It's the same thing, Southern Horror Writer. My books can be found online at Amazon, Walmart, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million. Seems like there was one other that I saw the other day, and I can't remember it right. And Waterstones. There's a bunch of other smaller spots, but that was just the bigger of the ones we could find them online, and they're available in audio, Kindle, for Amazon, hardcover and paperback.
Wait,
Cool.
Fantastic. Now,
I
what are
can't
your
wait to check out
goals?
the werewolf book. I've got to check that one out.
mhm.
The Sorrows. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
My
Oh,
goal
my
is
God.
even though all my books are standalone, there's an overall story that involves all the characters and all the parts of the universe of my horrorverse.
It's a web.
I eventually want to get as close to finished with that as I can. I'm not sure I'll do it in my lifetime, but my son, he's already wanting to do like screenplays and stuff together. If it ever happens that way, he can finish what I started.
Well, I
That'd be
want to blow the
awesome.
I want to blow the whistle on myself. I got a little sidetracked in the middle of trying to do James's outro there because I started thinking outside of what I was trying to say in the first place. So that's totally on me. My bad. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, zombies and freaks, this has been another episode of the Written Undead podcast for Richard Ryan Rose, Angel Ramon, Jennifer Amato, Potato, Tomato, whatever the hell her name is, and the one and only author of them, author of Beasts of Sorrows, author of so many other amazing things, James Watts. I'm Jack, and we are out. Till next week.
Later,
Bye-bye.
guys.
They're good, everybody.
Sweet.